Hi, Steve from Curious Guitar, and today we're going to be checking out the Pulze from Hotone, which is a 30-watt Class D stereo Bluetooth modelling amplifier. Okay, now you've just heard some sound clips. On the top of here you have a touch screen, a 4-inch touch screen, so that's really cool, so that you can change the patches and load things in and do all sorts of things on the amp itself via its touch screen. And there's also a really cool app for iOS and for Android as well. So I tend to use the app, which I'm going to show you later on in the video, and show you how easy it is. Now, it has loads and loads of features, and it's just had a mega update, which is the 1.4.0. I'm sure that's the right number. And that has now made this able to load clones and NAM profiles. So not only has it got lots of amplifiers in this, and effects and this, that and the other, but now you can download and save inside the amp NAM profiles of like cloned amps, a little bit, how can I describe that? A little bit like sampled amps, if you know what I mean. There's a sample of that amp at that particular state of a real amp, and you can download thousands of them from tone3000.com, and you can drop them into this machine, pop the amp model in here, and away you go. It's absolutely fantastic. There's also IR storage in here, and Celestion have also included 5 of their IRs. And IRs are normally for speaker models, so real life speakers, kind of recorded, sort of sampled, cloned, and they're in here. And you can download some more. There's some more user slots. There'll be information on the screen anyway about all this data that I'm telling you about. Okay, so let's have a look at what it can do and what it's all about. Okay, so the Hotone Pulze is made out of ABS, its enclosure is, so it's nice and solid, easy to wipe down, which is really nice. It comes in 2 colours. It comes in Lunar, which this one is, which is like a cream colour, sort of cream with red print on it, which is really nice. And you can get it in Eclipse, which is like a grey metallic. So I've heard, I haven't seen one in the flesh, but that's what it is. In the front, you can see we've got lights. We can change the lighting colours. You can, it's like an ambient light, and this wouldn't look out of place in a living room or an apartment or a studio. It's a really cool amp. The power section's class D. It's stereo, so it's like 15 watts a side. That's 30 watts. I wouldn't use it for gigging personally. I mean, you could mic it up, I guess, but it's not that loud, but it's certainly loud enough for an apartment. And it's got this incredible spatial sound coming out of it. Now, on the sound clips, you won't hear that because I was just using an SM58, so it's in mono, but I can guarantee you will be quite taken aback by how cool that spatial sound sounds. Hotone call it Space Plus. It's a stereo enhancing sound. It's really cool. You can turn it off within the amp itself or on the app as well. Right, so the sounds inside this unit, a lot of them come from the same technology that has come from this Hotone Ampero 2. So you are getting quite a lot of technology from this. Also, with the new sound cloning technology, which this has, the Ampero 2 can actually clone from amps as well. So if you want to actually capture amps, this will do it. This won't, but this will play the captures that you can get from this or off Tone 3000, which is absolutely brilliant. That's a mega update that they've put into this, and it just expands its functionality big time. Right, inside it's got 46 amp model simulations and it's got 48 cab simulations, so you're not going to be short of simulations. And it's got, I do believe, 60 plus effects built into it as well. So from noise gates, which are absolutely super important, to distortions, to overdrive pedals, to all sorts of things, modulation pedals, delay pedals, reverbs, you name it, it's all in here. It's fantastic. As well as having those Celestion 5 IRs, their speaker cabinets, it's also got 20 user slots as well, so you can load more IRs into match with your cabinets or your clones or whatever. As I say, it's really cool. Now, for those people that get a little bit worried about, you know, technology and things like that, and they like old school amps and things like that, well, that's totally understandable. This is pretty easy to use. And if you just hang on or check my section out on how to use the app, I'm sure that you'll think, actually, I wouldn't mind giving that a go, because it is really quite easy. Right, you can use 7 separate effects models on this. And on the app, you can actually adjust the chain. So a bit like your real life pedal board, you can change which pedal goes where to your own liking, which is really nice. You don't have to, but you've got that option, especially on the app. Right, this has got Bluetooth 5 on it, so you can do all sorts of cool stuff with that. It's got an auxiliary in, it's got a headphone input, it's got a built-in audio interface, so you can record into your, studio software, your DAWs, whatever. That's on the back, that's USB-C, which is really nice. And it's even got a USB loop back function, because if you do live streaming, that's going to come in really useful. They've really thought of just about everything with this amp. It's really impressive. Right, so you can also record via the audio in, via Bluetooth as well. You can record in as well as that. So you can play backing tracks on here. You could pop onto YouTube and play the backing tracks or anything really through this, because the speakers are made to sound good with YouTube, okay? Whereas they're not like guitar speakers, they're specially made so they sound good with just about everything. They're a little bit like an FRFR, flat response, and they just sound great. They just sound really cool. Also, like their other company, Vailton, what you can do is you can join the community and you can download patches and presets, whatever, and you can also upload to those as well, which I've been doing with the Ampero. It really is an all-in-one solution. You could use it in a studio. You can use it live. It's not that loud, but you could in a sort of a quieter environment. There's all sorts of emulations that you've heard in the sound demo, and It really is truly amazing. As I say, they've just updated it, and that is a biggie. That's a real biggie because now it can use sound clones. That's brilliant. There is a wireless pedal that can work with this. Hotone haven't sent me one as yet, but if they do, I will do a demo hopefully to show its functionality with this. It works with MIDI, so you can do lots of things with it. You can change your settings and patches and all sorts of things. Also, Hotone have been really pushing the limits with technology at the moment. I've been reading, I haven't seen it yet, but I've been reading a lot and I've seen demos online of their Vibera reverb pedal that they do, and that will clone other reverbs. I don't think anybody else has done that yet. They're just really pushing the boundaries. So check out the brand. It's an exciting brand to follow, to be honest with you, and they're not mega expensive either. They do the smaller Pulse model as well, little combo, but it doesn't have the 3.5 speakers in it, so you don't get that big stereo spread like you get on this. Honestly, hearing is believing with this. So anyway, let's check out the app and see how we can start creating patches and adjusting them and whatever. And yeah, let's check that out. Right, okay, so let's have a look at the app that we have on here. The app is super simple to use. Thanks Hotone for that. Not complicated. Let's start from the top. What we have is we have the little cog here, if you can see that. And this is the device settings. You can turn the space plus off on here, so you don't get such a broad stereo sound. The sound mode here has got loads of different, I presume they're pre-EQs on there, so that you can set it to how you wish. You've got your USB audio. You can set your different tuner references. At the moment it's set to 440 Hertz, but you can change it. And the nice little thing down here, it says display, is where you can change the colours on the front of the amplifier, or and the brightness as well. And also it changes the colours on here as well. If you have a look in here, let me just change it to something obvious. There you go. So that's green now, blue, and one of my favourites, purple. And you can adjust the brightness called the Atmos light brightness, which is the lights on the front of the amp, which is really a nice touch. That makes it really nice. Very atmospheric if you've got it in your living room, really cool. Okay, so that was on the display setting. You've got your USB audio, so you can adjust all that. Very nice, we like that. And also you can adjust the global EQ, which is really handy. Right, okay, so this is play mode, as I said. It's set to amp, as you can see there's a little arrow underneath, and if I just click on that, you've got a selection of loads and loads of amps on there. Okay, absolutely loads and loads of amps, which is really cool. And also we have those spacers for those sound clone amps as well, which you can load in, so you can have your own neural amp modeling. That's really nice. And also it says here import clone files, and that's where you pop them. We've got bass amps and all sorts of stuff. That's really nice, we like that. Okay. Right, as you can see here, what we have is we have an auto cab. What that means is it automatically selects the cab to match the amp that you've got. Now you don't have to have this feature if you don't want to. You can just turn it off. Okay, click on cab, and then you can select whatever you want. Yeah, and you can also import impulse responses as well. So you can use impulse response files as well, which is really nice. We like that, it's very cool. Also on the cab, you've got low cut and high cut and the volume of the cab, so that's really nice. We like that. Let's put that onto auto cab again. Right, so let's have a look at the other feature. What we've got here is we've got the tone volume and also tone tempo, and you can adjust it there with the plus and minus. The dynamics, what we have is we've got noise gates for the more high gain sounds, but we also have compressions and boosts and all sorts of goodies on there. Really nice. And they're pretty easy to use. You can have a one knob gate on there, or you can have like a fully functional noise gate if you want. Let's have a look at that. As you can see, there's more on there. It's entirely up to you. But it's so easy. It's brilliant. It's ideal for people that, you know, a little bit nervous about getting it deep diving into this sort of thing. It's nice and easy. Okay, let's have a look next door. We've got the preamp section. Again, we've got compressors and boosts, and we've got T-wahs, which are like envelope filters and things like that. They're basically, when you're playing with one of these wahs, let's have a listen to one. Let me find the T-wah here. That's for guitar, that's cool. Okay, let's have a listen to what it sounds like. Get my guitar switched on, that'd be useful. Okay, so there I selected my T-wah. It's very cool indeed, like it. And you can adjust all the bits to it as well, so that's nice, we like that. Okay, amplifiers I've gone through, cabs, EQs, got lots of EQs on here, lovely ones. We've got guitar EQs, we've got EQ1, EQ2, we've got bass EQs, got 2 of those. We've got the VEQ down there, which is like the Mesa Boogie style EQ, which is a 5-band. There's all sorts of cool stuff on here. You've also got the dimension, which is like the 4-button dimension pedal. All sorts of cool stuff. Flangers, you name it. It's got it down here. Univibes, rotaries, pitch shifters, all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, on the FX1, what we got on there? Okay, so it shows up as a chorus to start off with. What else we got? We got a lot of the other stuff I've just shown you, so that's really nice. So you know you're not stuck to just having one of these effects. You can have a couple of them, which is really nice. Just go through those a little bit so you can see them. Lots of delays and ping pong. Ping pong delays are going to sound great on this unit because of the stereo Class D amp. It's beautiful. It sounds really cool. Okay, and then I've got my FX2, which at the moment is set to reverb on here, a nice spring reverb, but you don't have to have that. You can have shimmer reverbs, all sorts of cool stuff. We're pretty spoilt really for choice. It's great. So that is the top of the app. Now at the bottom, it's got edit, cloud, jam, and all that sort of thing. So you can have drum sounds on there. If I go to the bottom, don't know if it's just out, it's just down there. Not sure if it's in screen, but what we've got there, it says jam, and this is where you can select your drum kits. Okay. Now at the moment it's set to hard rock. I'm just going to press this. Bit of guitar. Okay, so not necessarily the best drum machine I've ever heard, but really super useful for practice. Or you could have a jam with your friends and whatever. Sounds great. Also, you've got the tap functionality, so you can tap in how fast you want the drums to go. It's got drum sync down there. It's a really nice feature. I really like that. Okay, at the bottom here, we can also do factory resets. We can do backups. It tells you the software versions, and there's all sorts of things that you can do with that. There's the cloud, which we can download presets to. Okay, you just log into there, get yourself an account. Okay, that's pretty simple. And then if I click on the edit button, which is at the bottom, we're back to where we were. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Right, there's plenty of reviews on this amp online. Probably not with the new update, the 1.4.0, which has all the cloning software. But I will put a link to Elmo, who's a guy over in Scandinavia, and he is absolutely unreal on the guitar. He's a great reviewer. He didn't pay for the Pulse amp he was reviewing, and I'd like to see that as well. It is a great little amp. I would recommend it to anybody. It's not for live. I would say it's not for live. I don't think it's loud enough. And if you turn it up loud with the high gain sounds on it, I would say it gets a little bit rattly, but on moderate volumes, it sounds killer. The bass tones are brilliant. Everything's pretty much spot on. At the moment in the UK, it's $299. It's a great amp. Anyway, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.